Today I got bombshell updates on Wendi Adelson. Welcome back to the channel. How are you guys doing? I am Carolyn from Moms for Justice. I am here with, I'd like to say, a pretty good video for you. And I said I was going to come through with something big for you this week, and I think it's big, and I think you will think it's big. So I'm so excited. Go get whatever. If you want, go get a blanket while I'm talking about disclaimers I need to say. Go get, a cup of tea because I'm about to spill the tea, okay? And I'm excited to do so, but before I do it, I want to say a couple things. And if you want to ignore me and go get your tea and go get a blanket to cuddle up with and sit back and relax, go ahead and do that. But it's really important that I say a couple things first. The information in this video is highly sensitive, and I would like to respect the families, not just the Markel family, but families of the people that I'm going to be speaking about. I also want to respect the Markel boys, Lincoln and Benjamin. And I also want to respect the privacy of Wendi. I'm saying that because I'm not in the business to have people start driving up to where she lives and stalking her. I am not about that. There are a lot of YouTube people out there that are trying to go viral by getting in their car and driving down to a crime scene and standing there and interfering with the process. There are YouTubers that harass victims and their families, that harass perpetrators as well. There are a few, and I won't say their names, but there are a few out there that are pretty brazen, and they have been brought to court because of their behavior. I don't want to be that person, okay? I don't. Yeah, if I was visiting Denver right now, and I'm not talking about Wendi right now. If I was visiting Denver right now, I would love to drive by to the different locations that are prominent in the JonBenet Ramsey case. Take a few pictures, whatever. I would do it in a respectful manner, and I would not, I would not overstep. I wouldn't. I'm just not that kind of person. So with that said, I also don't want anything from my video to make anybody that's watching it go and, try to drive to the house where Wendi lives, because I'm looking at her house right now on this other, I have another computer right here. I have her address, which is crazy. And that's not all I have. I have more, but let me get to the rest. So, disclaimer. It's important that we know that this is fair use and commentary based on public record. Okay. Also, I've done some background work on several people, and that is all public information. If anybody really wants to dig, they could find it. So I'm not coming to the table here with anything that cannot be found in the public. And yes, my commentary is protected under fair use law. Also, I'm going to be very careful of what I state to be fact and what I state to be an opinion. I will have some opinions, and I'm going to indicate that it's opinion. Just because, I like to speculate. That's just who I am. I hope you guys don't mind. If you don't like any speculation at all in your YouTube entertainment, then you shouldn't be watching me. I'm going to give my opinion. But they are informed opinions, and I will indicate that they are simply theories, and that is it. So I want to be clear that I do not condone harassment, stalking, or an invasion of anyone's privacy. Okay? And I will not be revealing the exact address. I'll be showing you things, but I will not be revealing the exact address or provide private information at all by any means. Please respect the privacy of individuals that I'm discussing here, and especially surviving family members, and think about the children. Think about the boys, and just please do that for me. The first thing we're going to talk about is Wendi's current relationship. I have the tea on that. I do. I just do. But let's first start, because it's George. We all know, and people have heard George. Don't worry, I got new stuff for you. There is a misconception out there about how many Georges there are. So I'm going to clear that up right now. Some people have said 3. Some people have said 4. There is only 2. Okay, the first one is George Fernandez. Okay, George Fernandez is the son of a billionaire immigration crusader. okay, that Wendi worked for. And here you go. He had wrote this thing about her, basically just saying she's innocent. And if I'm not mistaken, he might have even blamed Charlie and Donna. Let me see. Is there anything in here about that? Boom. Let's see. I don't know if it, I want to say that maybe he had. Okay, so in this particular article, he's just basically saying that she had, and you see where my mouse is, nothing to do with it. Okay, gotcha. All right, buddy. I appreciate you protecting her, but I wonder what you think about that now. Anyway, he has a son, right? He has a son, and his name is George Fernandez. Do I have, could I find confirmation that they ever were together? No, there's no confirmation of that. So if it's out there, it's rumor. Maybe she went on a couple dates with him, but honestly, there's no confirmation of that. Okay, the other George is George Estrada. He also goes by an alias, several aliases actually. I'll list them later, but he has several aliases. Why does he have aliases? I don't know why he has aliases, but it definitely was concerning when I saw it. Anyway, one of his aliases is Jorge Estrada. Also goes by George Estrada. Here's another picture of him here. Okay, so he was once married before, okay? And there is the wife, the previous wife who has passed away, along with his son. And here they are. George Estrada and Wendi Adelson. Just wait till you hear this, people. He has 2 children, 2, a son and a daughter. We know the mother has passed away. This makes him a widow. Okay, who else is a widow? Wendi Adelson is a widow. Either way, he and Wendi obviously met under those circumstances. And meeting in Miami first. And it is my assumption, can we just talk about the fact that they share this one thing in common? What a big deal that is. I mean, the loss of a spouse. Is this how she roped him in? Because how many people do we know that use something like this, a tragedy or pain, to prey on another person that's also gone through that? And also there's people out there that genuinely need that, right? There's people that have lost their husband, lost a child, and then they go to like these group meetings with other parents that have lost their child as well. And those people really need it. They really need the support. They really need each other. And I just, I was like, so what are the chances of that? And did she use her loss of her ex-husband and everything that she's going through right now as a way to rope this guy in because he lost his wife? I don't know. I mean, I bet she played the poor me card, right? Poor me, my husband was murdered. What did you go through? I know nothing about how George's previous wife passed away. It's tragic all around, right? No matter what, whether you're killed or you die of cancer, you know, and maybe she did. I don't know. But because of what we know about her and the way she is and how conniving and manipulative this woman is, that when I saw that her current boyfriend, George Estrada, is a widow as well, I just was so, oh, wow. Like, well. I was just so like blown away by that. I don't know. Are you? I mean, come on, George, let's suffer together. That's what that's what I'm picturing here. Poor me, poor me. I lost my husband and you lost your wife and we can lean on each other. Well, do you think she got around to telling him anything more than that? I mean, obviously, he's got to know that she's high profile now. Maybe that relationship is on the rocks, and that's why there is word about her maybe moving to Denver. But we'll get into that because I have the specifics about Austin. Anyway, but first, let me talk about his employment. Okay, so if you don't already know,
Hi, my name is George Estrada, Principal Strategic Advisor for Credit Unions on Amazon Web Services nonprofit team. Organizations from every industry are being mandated, either from their boards, leadership, or the market itself, to become data-driven organizations. But what exactly does that mean, to be data-driven? And how does one become data-driven? And how do you know you're there? Well, at AWS, we define data-driven organizations as an organization that harnesses data as an asset to drive sustained innovation and create actionable insights to supercharge the member experience. In other words, data-driven organizations generate value from their data.
Great. You get an idea, right? Here's another one. Looking a little more stern here, George. This is only a year ago. The first video I just played was 2 years ago. Maybe he's having a little stress in his life.
Hi, my name is George Estrada, and I'm a strategist for the nonprofit team at Amazon Web Services. A question I often get when developing a cloud strategy is on whether one should think of a move to the cloud as a chance for staff reduction. The short answer is no. Moving to the cloud is not a one-step move that ends with a migration into the cloud. Instead, it's an element of a broader strategy that is laying down the foundation for scaling, automation, and innovation. So rather than looking at a move to the cloud as staff reduction, see it as an opportunity for a role optimization. Arguably, the most critical resource in your organization is your staff. The trust they've earned with customers and the institutional knowledge they have gained over the years.
Okay, boring, I know. But I wanted to show you guys a little bit of George Estrada. I still have so much more for you. By the way, can you guys like this video right now? I mean, just take the time, please. Just go to the bottom of the video and just hit that little thumbs up for me. And comment. Let me know what you have to say about what I'm doing so far. Let me know what you think of what I've found for you guys. Okay, guys, it's going to start getting good now. So Wendi and George, they share a home together in Austin. It's northwestern Austin. It's in Williamson County, and it's right in the red circle I made there for you. And I put the little arrow there for you. It's also important to note that the map on the right is a line from where their current house is to the Mexican border, which is actually not as quick as we thought, but it's 3.5 hours away. Okay. So if they wanted to just hightail it, or she wanted to hightail it to Mexico, I mean, it would be quicker to get to Mexico, right? Than when she was in Tallahassee, that's for sure. But let me say this. Phil Markel made a comment the other day on Carl Steinbeck's video that he heard that they're going to Denver. So, I mean, that's further inland. So if that's true, her leaving here to go to Denver doesn't tell me that she really wants to just be near the Mexican border and flee. Otherwise, she wouldn't be going to Denver, right? But as it stands right now, I even thought to myself that maybe she planted that out there to like divert everybody's attention and to make them think that she's going to Denver, just so that nobody would bother her, So it is possible it's a lie, you know what I mean? But I know that her name is listed on the address that I found. So there's that. But a little bit about Williamson County, where she lives. It's beautiful there. Like, it's really nice. Okay, it's part of Austin, Round Rock, Georgetown metropolitan area. Okay, there's about 670,000 people that live there as of 2025, and it's one of the fastest growing counties in the United States. So anyway, there's Round Rock nearby her, Georgetown, Cedar Park, Leander, and Liberty Hill. She has got, it's like one of those typical cookie cutters. You drive around, there's like all the, there's Sprouts, and there's, a museum for the kids that are right down the street. There's like an aquarium nearby and really good schools. And so it is really close to major highways I-35 and State Highway 130. Here is her house. Okay. Here is Wendi Adelson's house. Right now, she lives there. No doubt about it. I confirmed it. I have the address. I looked up the records. I did go ahead and blacked out the actual address. And it does say right here, most recent tenant is Wendi Adelson. Past residents include George Estrada, Nita Nahuli, Dante Estrada, which is the son of George Estrada, Pedram, Jahanmard, and Robert Gresham. So there's that. Okay, guys. So what I'm showing you now is some information on both Wendi and George. We're going to start with the left. You will notice that I have blacked out the addresses except for previous addresses because they no longer live there. So I'm not worried about that. I also blacked out phone numbers. Yes, there are phone numbers here. Like I could sit here and call all these phone numbers and say, hello, Wendi. Are you home? This is Carolyn from Moms for Justice. No, I'm not going to do that because I'm not about that. But anyway, I blacked them out for you. Okay, so let's start. Wendi's previous addresses, as we know, are, a lot. She's bounced around quite a bit. So she's had the Meridian Avenue apartment in Miami Beach. Then she lived on North University Drive in Tamarack, Florida. Aqua Ridge Ray, Trescott. Oh, made me feel bad when I saw that. And then Jefferson Street. And we've got our phone numbers. Then you move down to the middle, and I've got George Estrada. He's 55 years old, okay? And he lived at an apartment in Miami, 340 Southeast 3rd Street, Unit 2402, very close to where Wendi used to live and Donna used to live. And then there's a list of all these other addresses, California and Virginia for George. Phone numbers for George, I blacked those out. But look at the aliases in the column on the right. George, Jorge Estrada. Also goes by George, Jorge Lestrada, Lestrada. And then, of course, George Estrada. And on the main file, he's listed as George Estrada. All his relatives are listed as well. Also, I have the section where I did this on Wendi as well, and all her relatives are also listed as well. Okay, back to the house. Here's the house. It was easy for me to look up and find, and I found pictures of the inside. I'm going to show them to you. Here we go. So this house is valued at between $500,000 and $600,000 right now. So it's really not that expensive. There's a lot of people out there that have talked about the fact that she's living large and rich. This is pretty much middle class, upper middle class. Certainly by no means is she living in any mansion, people. So let's start with, that is the kitchen. Very pretty house. Let me skip through here. There's another view of the house. All right, family room. I love looking at houses, so I'm enjoying this. Okay, very nice. Playground in the back. Beautiful. What do you guys think? This is Wendi's house. Currently living in it right now. We need some like real estate elevator music. Let's go. Nice bonus room. Looks like a good place to hide out. The master bedroom where all the magic happens, where Wendi can put her spell on him. I hope this guy sleeps with like one eye open. I cannot imagine. from prior to her buying or renting it. However, I will tell you, I believe it's rented. What I'm not sure about is if it's owned by George's family and that he let her go down and begin the process of renting it. But now it's listed as his address too, so. Nice private yard with a fence. You're gonna need that, Wendi. One of your neighbors is gonna figure out who you are. Anyway, it's a nice house, but she's not living large off of Dan's money. What she is getting a chance to do is live and be with her kids, which Dan never had a chance to do. So that's the tragedy in the whole thing. Okay, so I'm not done. I am looking at a picture of George and Wendi with his two children and Benjamin and Lincoln. And I'm bugging out right now. I know I have to be respectful and not show their faces, but I want to share with you something. Lincoln, the youngest, he looks exactly like Dan Markel. Like he is a spitting image, especially of, like, let's say this picture here. This picture of Dan Markel is like looking at the other picture I have right now recently of Lincoln. The exact same face. I kid you not. And I can tell you that they do look happy. They are smiling really big in these pictures. And, you know, what do they say? A picture says 1,000 words. But then we also know that if you go on Facebook or Instagram, people are sharing their life and they only share the happiest moments too. So we don't know what goes on behind closed doors, right? But I will report what I see. And they are smiling. Here's a picture. Here it is. There's Wendi. And like I said, the boys are smiling in the picture. I was, when I found it, literally the hairs on the back of my neck stood up because I know she's going to be walking in the courtroom, at least as far as we know. She's going to be showing up for Donna's trial in just, you know, what is it, 2 weeks from now? This is what she looks like. And, you know, she doesn't look all that different, but it just bugged me out to see her in her other life pretending that, I don't know. For a second, it felt wrong for me to share it because I felt no better than anybody else. But then at the same time, it's out there. I mean, you can find it yourself if you wanted to. Here's a little more up close. So with this whole thing about them moving to Denver, it's possible their relationship has soured because I can't imagine that the relationship could succeed with everything that's going on with her, with what she's faced with and what she's being accused of. And I would think that it wouldn't take very long unless she is keeping him very busy in the bedroom. If she doesn't do that, it's not going to take him very long to see all the things that we saw, right? I did search marriage records to see if they quietly got married, and nothing came up. I even searched for Wendi Estrada, and I even searched Wendi Markel. Came up with nothing. There is an attorney out there that wrote on his blog out of Colorado about Wendi applying for a job there, and that he had colleagues that actually wanted to hire her. This is like in the last year. He had to convince his colleagues not to hire her. They were like, well, she's innocent. She hasn't been, indicted, so let's hire her. And he said, well, we're attorneys. We're in the law community. She is at least accused by the public of killing one of our own. Why would we hire her? Out of respect for Dan Markel, we should not hire her. And they ultimately, in the end, decided not to hire her. So why is this all important? Well, it's not. It's not important at all. There is no value to anything I said today in this video that would affect the Donna Adelson case or Wendi getting indicted. However, it is something that we all really want to know about, right? We want to know what she's doing. You know, we want justice for Dan Markel, and we are pissed. We are pissed she's out there gallivanting with her kids. So yeah, just short of stalking her, I'm looking things up. And we all just want to know what she's up to. We all want her to know that we didn't forget. We have not forgotten. I also want to say that it is really important to note that she does have family that lives in Austin that probably made that move to Austin much easier for her. She's got her cousin there. She's got other distant relatives that live there. And if she ever moves to California, she'll have somebody there too. You know, her cousin's daughter is married to a famous celebrity and lives in LA. So she could go there if she wants to. I think it's safe to say that Wendi will never be returning to Miami, though. Right? I mean, there's no place for her in Miami now. She's just, you know, and it's such irony. I've talked about it before, that it's such irony that one of the biggest things why this whole thing happened was because she just wanted to go to Miami. And guess what, Wendi? You can't live in Miami now. Nobody wants you there, Wendi. Nobody. But I do know this. She will be taking a flight to Tallahassee really soon. And we're all going to be watching. And I wonder what she's going to say. That's going to trip it up again a little bit more and get a little more evidence for Georgia. I am so tempted to catch a flight and go to Tallahassee. I've actually already mentioned it. I'm like, I just want to go and sit and watch. Maybe catch a glimpse of her. Maybe say, why'd you do it, Wendi? There's plenty to charge her with, I think. However, according to the law, I don't know if there is. And the standard for charging someone with a crime in this country is very high. And prosecutors, they have to be able to prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. And in Florida, State Attorney Jack Campbell, he sticks to that standard pretty strictly. I mean, just look at how long it took for Charlie Adelson to get charged. It wasn't until like what, April 2022, right? Yeah. And that was nearly 8 years after Danny Markel was murdered. It's just, it's crazy. And a lot of people are mad at Jack Campbell because of this. You know, like what's the holdup? Well, I don't know the answer to that. I do know this. That it took them forever for Charlie, and there was tons of evidence on Charlie. So what does that say to you? There's not tons on Wendi. There just isn't. Do I think she's guilty? Heck yeah, I do. And we all do. And we all want to see her be held accountable for what she did. I do. I personally find her incredibly disturbing, cold, calculating. And honestly, she's a sociopath. And that's probably the harshest word I can use. There are a ton of red flags. Some of the biggest ones for me is she texts Dan to confirm that he'd be home the morning that he was murdered. She wanted to make sure when he was traveling. Her ex-boyfriend, Jeffrey Lacasse, has said that she might have even tried to set him up. And there's all this like succession of things that would make us all easily believe that. The bizarre crying fits leading up to the murder, the making Jeff and the kids sit there and watch TV on a broken TV. I mean, nobody does that I know of. People go down to Best Buy and they get their TV within a couple days. You know, especially when you have children. Children need their TV. They want to watch Elmo with their SpaghettiOs. And then, how could she not have known? If her brother and mom were planning a murder for her benefit, she would have been in on it. There was just, that family was just too wicked and eerily close. And of course, then there's the biggest one for me, that she drives by the crime scene. I talk about this over and over again, and we all hear it, and it's getting old. I know, I get it, but it's just so powerful to drive by the crime scene within an hour. What are the chances of that happening? And here's another thing, people. When that TV repairman came, I think it's a really big deal that she told the repairman about the hitman joke with the TV. Nobody does that. When was the last time you had a repairman show up at your house and you told him something really dark and weird about your family? Nobody does that. Nobody. So many red flags. Another thing is her defense lawyer. He could explain away a lot of this. Wendi could say that checking in with Dan about his schedule was just normal co-parenting stuff. She's going to say that as strange as the Adelson family is, there is a case to be made that Charlie and Donna might have gone rogue, doing something awful behind her back to help her without telling her, just to protect her. It's definitely something that she could say as a defense. It's messed up, all of it. And we need more evidence, and we need it to come now. Like, this is it, people. I don't know if she's going to be put away if we don't get something from Donna Adelson's trial. We need it. Of course, they could also just, once the trial is over, they could just arrest her and go for it, try and see if the circumstantial evidence will be enough. But the problem here is not just Georgia or getting her arrested. I think it's Jack Campbell. Jack Campbell's got to say it's okay to go ahead and try. He might be like it's not worth the taxpayers' money to go ahead and try this case. So don't get mad at Georgia if they don't arrest her. She's probably in there, for all we know, weekly going, come on, let's go arrest her. Let's do it. I can do this. I can fight this case. In fact, I totally believe that, because I think she believes in her case a lot. But you can't do nothing without Jack Campbell saying it's okay to go ahead and arrest her. So where will Wendi and George go next? Will they stay in Austin? Because that is where they are. They haven't left yet. Or do they have plans to move to Denver? I just want to say thank you to all of you. I am loving talking to you guys. And I appreciate all the love you've been given on my videos. And I will keep it going for you. I also do other cases, so please comment below other cases you want me to do. There is a crazy case out of Tennessee right now, and I live in Tennessee. Have you guys heard about Austin Drummond? Guys, a baby was left alive on a stranger's front lawn. And then within 24 hours, they found 4 bodies of the baby's family members found dead. And now there's a guy on the loose. There's a manhunt. His name is Austin Drummond. Turns out that he was dating, and still is dating, the sister of the baby's grandmother. Yeah, I know. You probably already have questions. Grandma's 37 years old. But this case is huge right now, and I'm covering it right from the beginning. So go ahead and check it out. There's live podcasts about it. And subscribe, like, share, and I'll see you next time.